morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Prime Minister Oli and his Indian counterpart Modi agreed to implement past agreements in a joint press meet. Inaugurate the much-touted Arun III hydropower project. The visiting Prime Minister accorded a civic reception in Janakpur. Modi announces assistance of 1 billion Indian rupees for Janakpur's development. Leaves for Muktinath earlier this morning. A teenage girl in Madhya Pradesh, India, raped and burned alive, the third instance of the kind in the same week. Demand for highest punishment for sex assault intensifies in India. And Josh Butler guides Rajasthan Royals to a nail-biting 4 wickets victory over Chennai Super Kings. Rajasthan keeps hopes of playoff berth alive. And let's begin with the latest national political updates. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi have stressed on the need of implementing all past agreements. They made the remark during a joint press meet organized at Kathmandu's Hotel Dwarika's yesterday evening. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Oli said that Nepal has moved towards political stability and prosperity after the successful holding of all 3 levels of elections. In response, Premier Modi congratulated and lauded Nepal's efforts in this regard. The Indian Prime Minister assured that the construction survey of the Raxaul-Kathmandu railway would soon be started. Both the Prime Ministers also inaugurated the much-touted Arun III hydropower project earlier in the evening yesterday. A civic reception was held in Janakpur for Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who reached Nepal for his 2-day state visit yesterday. Prior to the civic reception, Indian Prime Minister Modi performed a special worship at Janaki Temple. Following the worshipping, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and his Indian counterpart Modi inaugurated Ramayana Circuit and Janakpur Ayodhya bus service. On the occasion, Indian Prime Minister Modi expressed happiness in visiting Nepal. Modi opined that the Janakpur Ayodhya bus service under the Ramayana Circuit opened new doors for economic development and strengthening of cultural ties. Meanwhile, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli expressed belief that Indian Prime Minister Modi's Nepal visit would aid in expansion of traditional, cultural and religious relationship. The neighboring Prime Minister was welcomed by Defence Minister Ishwar Pokhrel yesterday. Following the civic reception in Janakpur, Modi arrived in Kathmandu. The visiting Prime Minister headed to Hyatt Hotel after landing at the Tribhuvan International Airport. A guard of honor was bestowed to Indian Prime Minister Modi at Turikal. Following that, he held a cordial meeting with Vice President Nanda Bahadur Pun. On the second day of his visit today, Modi left for religious site Muktinath in Mustang earlier this morning. However, due to bad weather, his flight was made to land at Pokhara Airport. Modi is also scheduled to visit Pashupatinath Temple in Kathmandu. Likewise, the Kathmandu metropolis has also planned a civic reception for Modi later today. Modi is scheduled to return home at 4 in the afternoon today itself. The visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Nepal was in the top priority among the neighboring nations of India. Addressing a civic reception accorded upon him, the visiting Indian Prime Minister said that India would always extend a helping hand in Nepal's progress and development.
पहला टी है ट्रेडिशन, दूसरा टी है ट्रेड, तीसरा टी है टूरिज्म, चौथा टी है टेक्नोलॉजी और पांचवा टी है ट्रांसपोर्ट। यानी परंपरा, व्यापार, पर्यटन, प्रौद्योगिकी और परिवहन से हम नेपाल और भारत को विकास के रास्ते पर आगे ले जाना चाहते हैं।
The Indian Prime Minister added that the 2 nations would move together in the coming days, connected through railway, sea and air route.
स्थायी विकास का साझेदार है। नेपाल हमारी नेबरहुड फर्स्ट ये पॉलिसी में सबसे आगे आता है, सबसे पहले आता है।
Modi congratulated Nepal for the successful completion of all 3 levels of election and formation of provincial governments in all the 7 federal states. However, Modi remained mum on the issue of 6-month-long blockade imposed by India on the issue of Nepal's constitution. Emphasizing on how religion and culture have binded the people of India and Nepal, Modi said that his 3rd visit to Nepal is more in the capacity of a pilgrim than a prime minister. During the civic reception accorded on him, the Indian Prime Minister also pledged a financial assistance of 1 billion Indian rupees for the development of Janakpur region. The ongoing 2-day visit of Narendra Modi is his 3rd visit to Himalayan nation in the capacity of the Indian Prime Minister. He had earlier visited Nepal twice in 2014 upon invitation from the then Prime Minister late Sushil Koirala and during the SAARC summit. When Indian Prime Minister Modi visited Nepal in 2014, he had addressed the Constituent Assembly meeting. Addressing the Constituent Assembly, Modi had pledged a financial assistance worth 10 billion rupees for Nepal's infrastructure development. Then both the sides had mulled over finalizing Pancheshwar multipurpose project, Upper Marsyangdi and Tamakosi hydropower projects, along with other development agreements. There has, however, been no progress in this regard. Likewise, the construction of the 15-kilometer-long postal highway under the Indian assistance has been moving at snail's pace. The Indian government has also not yet provided the 100 billion rupees it had promised for the post-earthquake reconstruction. Premier Modi visited Nepal in November 2014 for SAARC summit. During the visit, he had handed over the trauma center construction in the capital to Nepal government. The Modi-led government imposed blockade on Nepal right after the promulgation of constitution in September 2015. It has been just a month since Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli held a state visit to India. Despite repeated parleys, a majority of agreements of development assistance from the Indian government have failed to get implemented. This time, both the sides have moved forward the agreements forged during Prime Minister Oli's recent India visit, along with determining the strategies and processes. However, it's yet to be witnessed if the ambitious projects like Arun 3rd, Raxol-Kathmandu electric railway and waterway connection to Nepalese trade will actually get implemented on time. Chief Minister of Province No. 2 Lal Babu Raut, addressing the civic reception of the Indian Prime Minister, alleged that the Madhesi community has lagged behind due to the state's discriminatory policies. Following the allegations of the Province 2 Chief Minister Lal Babu Raut, disputes have surfaced regarding whether it is appropriate to speak about the country's internal affairs.
जारी विभेदकारी नीतियों और पूर्वाग्रहों, विद्वेषपूर्ण मानसिकता के कारण से ही मधेश के लोग तुलनात्मक रूप से अत्यधिक गरीब, बेरोजगारी, अभावग्रस्त, शोषित एवं उत्पीड़ित जीवन जीने के लिए विवश है। मधेश विकास के मामले में काफी पीछे रहा है। हमारी संघर्ष आज भी विभेदकारी संविधान और प्रादेशिक अधिकारों के लिए जारी है। हम नेपाल के अभिन्न अंग हैं, पर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे मुल्क में भी बिना भेदभावपूर्ण किसी भी जाति, वर्ग और समुदाय के लोग राज्य के हर तह तबका निकाय में उसका क्षमता और योग्यता से पहुंचने का सहज अवसर मिले, जैसे कि महामहिम आप एक सामान्य परिवार के होते हुए भी भारत के सर्वोच्च कार्यकारी पद पर विराजमान हैं।
The issue has also raised the question whether the speech by the chief of the state needed to be approved by the foreign ministry or not. And with that, it's now time for a short break. More news when we come back. Do stay tuned. Welcome back, and it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what should be done for implementation of the Indo-Nepal agreements at the earliest? Your options are: option A, strengthening bilateral mechanism; option B, increase monitoring; and option C, sign realistic agreements only. The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 8080 and do share your opinion with us. And in his third visit to Nepal in the capacity of Indian Prime Minister, Narendra Modi is visiting Nepal's major religious destinations. And in this context, we had asked the residents of Kathmandu and Butwal what should be done to boost religious tourism in Nepal. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
धार्मिक क्षेत्रको संरक्षण गर्नुपर्छ सबभन्दा पहिले त धार्मिक क्षेत्रको संरक्षण भइसकेको पूर्वाधारको विकास गर्नुपर्यो
धेरै धार्मिक स्थलहरू चाहिँ नेपालमा छन् तर पनि राज्यले माल पाएर चाल नपाएको अवस्था चाहिँ सृजना गरेको छ यसलाई चाहिँ प्रचार प्रसारमा कमी गरेको छ
पशुपतिनाथ मुक्तिनाथ जस्ता विश्व सम्पदा सूचीमा पर्यटकीय स्थलहरू नेपालमा भएको कारणले र यसको सार्थक रूपमा प्रचार प्रसार गर्न सकियो भने साच्चै चाहिँ धार्मिक पर्यटनको नेपालमा ठूलो महत्त्व छ
जनकपुर भयो मुक्तिनाथ जस्ता धार्मिक ठाउँहरू धेरै छन् यसको प्रचार गर्न सक्यो भने र व्यवस्थापन गर्न सक्यो भने नेपालको विकासमा ठूलो सम्भावना छ
पुनर्निर्माण गर्नु पर्यो पर्यटकलाई सुनिश्चित गर्नु पर्यो राम्रो बस्ने व्यवस्था मन्दिर वरिपरि
Now time for some international update. A teenage girl in India has been raped and burnt alive by her attacker, the third instance of such an attack in the same week. The 16-year-old girl died after being soaked in fuel and set on fire at a home in the Sagar district of Madhya Pradesh. Police said she was killed after telling her attacker she would inform her family about the rape. Two other similar attacks, one fatal, took place in Jharkhand this week. A 17-year-old girl remains in critical condition after being set on fire by a suspect who allegedly said he wanted to marry the victim, but he had been rejected. The earlier case involved a 16-year-old who was burnt alive after her parents complained to the village elders about her rape. In the most recent attack, the victim was at home alone in Juzapur village when she was attacked. Police said they had arrested a suspect named as 28-year-old Ravi Chadar. India is facing renewed public outrage over the number of violent sexual assaults in the country. Recent public anger over sexual assault was sparked by the rape and murder of an 8-year-old girl in January. The girl, a member of a Muslim nomadic tribe, was found dead in Indian-administered Kashmir. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break.
Sports news.
Rajasthan Royals stunned Chennai Super Kings by 4 wickets in a thrilling match played on the Indian Premier League last night. Opting to bat first at Jaipur's Sawai Man Singh Stadium, Chennai posted 176 for the loss of 4 wickets on a slow turning pitch. Suresh Raina top scored with 52 runs, while there was valuable contribution from Shane Watson with 39 runs and Mahendra Singh Dhoni with 33 runs. Chasing 177 runs for victory, Josh Butler guided Rajasthan to a nail-biting victory, remaining unbeaten on 92 runs. Butler's match-winning knock came off 60 balls that included 11 fours and 2 sixes. Following the win, RR have kept their hopes alive for a playoff berth. Meanwhile, 2 matches are slated under IPL today. The first match will see a clash between Kings 11 Punjab and Kolkata Knight Riders, followed by a clash between Delhi Daredevils and Royal Challengers Bangalore. And back home, Nepal Police Club lifted the Damak Gold Cup with a 1-0 win over Manang Mersangdi in the tournament finale yesterday. The first half ended goalless as both the sides were guilty of missing out on a number of opportunities. The goalless deadlock was finally broken in the 88th minute when Police Club's Rajin Subba found the net of Ravi Paswan's cross. This was the Police Club's first title of the season. The Police Club walked away with the winner's trophy and a cash prize of 1.3 million rupees. Manang had to settle for 600,000 rupees. Police Club's custodian Kiran Chamjong was adjudged the most valuable player and handed a motorcycle. And moving on to volleyball, the Women National Club League Volleyball Championship has been slated from 4th to 9th of June next month in the capital. Nepal Volleyball Association hosted a press conference yesterday to make the announcement. The tournament will see the participation of 6 teams: New Diamond Academy, Nepal Police Club, APF Club, Tribhuvan Army Club, Padmodaya Club of Chitwan and Jawlakal Training Centre are the participating teams. The winners will be awarded a cash prize of 200,000 rupees along with the winner's trophy. Likewise, the second place team will receive 100,000 rupees. The third place team will be handed 50,000 rupees while the fourth place team will receive 25,000 rupees. The estimated budget for the tournament to be played in the covered hall of National Sports Council is 430,000 rupees. And before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Prime Minister Oli and his Indian counterpart Modi agreed to implement past agreements in a joint press conference, inaugurate the much-touted Arun 3rd hydropower project. The visiting Prime Minister accorded a civic reception in Janakpur. Modi announces assistance of 1 billion Indian rupees for Janakpur's development, leaps from Muktinath earlier this morning. A teenage girl in Madhya Pradesh, India, raped and burnt alive, the third instance of the kind in the same week. Demand for highest punishment for sex assault intensifies in India. And Josh Butler guides the Rajasthan Royals to a nail-biting 4 wickets victory over Chennai Super Kings. Rajasthan keeps hopes of play berth alive. And those were the latest headlines. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTV SD. Have a great day.